Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Lazy Couch Thoughts. Today we're going to be discussing. I actually wrote a blog about this, but I know it doesn't really cross over much. I have my video viewers, and I also have the people that like the blogs better. So I'm going to do something on both, right? So before we even get into it, I just want to announce if you are liking this page, please stay subscribed. Feel free to go look through other videos and stuff. Check out my bio. Go check out the blogs that I post on couchfanaticsports.com. There's going to be a link to it. Also, you can go find all of our social media accounts. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're on everything. Anywhere you can find us, you can go. Lastly, you can follow us on Twitch, _doming. It's a lot of fun over there. We get after it. Let's say that. We have some fun, especially when the chat's really popping off. It's fun. Go check that out. We stream everything. Lastly, go check out the podcast when you're seeing this. It'll be up tomorrow at 1 p.m. on YouTube, 10 a.m. drops on Apple, Spotify, all Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast. 10 a.m. drop, 1 p.m. drop on YouTube. So if you're liking it, if you're enjoying my stuff, consume more of it. And let's really grow this community together. Let's make a community together and be a part of the start and be a part of the Fanatic family. So digging into it, we're going to talk about the MLB's decision to not allow the DH this year. In case you're not the biggest baseball fan, so the designated hitter, the DH, is something that the American League introduced in 1973 to drive up ticket sales. Basically, what they decided was, we will now give teams the option to have one designated hitter, usually used for the pitcher. So instead of the pitcher hitting, you get to use a hitter to hit for them, right? So a lot of NL people thought this was a gimmick, wouldn't last. American League people, the reason why they did it was 8 out of their 12 American League teams actually lost money. They weren't profitable that year before because their league batting average was like a 232 or something crazy low. It was awful. And then they weren't driving the ball down back then, so it's not like they had 282 with the 760 OPS. Like they weren't OPSing worth anything. They weren't hitting the ball. They weren't driving it. They were just hitting the ball weakly and they weren't getting on base. So it was bad for business. American League said, you know what drives ticket sales? You know what helps tickets? You know what's entertaining? Base hits. That's what's entertaining. Let's add more hitters. Works great for them. American League instantly becomes more popular. There's more offense. There's more hitters. There's more stars. All this other stuff. And the National League in 1977 says, okay, let's have a vote. Simple majority, 12 teams. You can 7 to pass it. 6 teams say yes, 4 teams say no. 2 people didn't vote because they didn't show up that day. One of the people that didn't show up was one of the most active for the DH, saying we need this. People want to see hits. It's entertaining. And he didn't show up to vote. If he would have showed up to vote, the National League would pass the DH in 1977. And to this day, the American League and the National League would both be playing by the same rules. Instead of going back to the mistake that we made 43 years ago, we're going to continue to keep making it. Doesn't make sense. Apparently, the MLB offered the Players Association a proposal. 2021, we'll give you the DH in the National League if you allow us to keep the extended 18 playoffs in 2021. The players said no. We don't like the watered-down playoff field. We don't want to play 162 games just for you to allow over half the teams in. Hey, right here, I feel that. The point of the 162 games is to dwindle down the best teams and let them fight it out in the postseason. That's why they play so many games. If not, cut the season in half if you're going to just allow anybody to make it into the postseason. What are we doing here, guys? Whenever you allow half the league to make it into postseason, you know what happens is it prevents owners from wanting to spend money because playoffs generate money, so the owners will make playoff pushes to throw in money so they can try in hopes of making some. But if they're told, hey, we just gotta be mediocre, you gotta be 81 and 81, they don't have the incentive to go out there and sign Trevor Bauer to push them over the edge. They don't have the incentive to go get a Michael Brantley and a George Springer to get them over the edge, right? They don't do these things, right? Unless they're the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Dodgers and they're looking to get over the hump and go win a World Series. Those were the teams that spend money. But instead, nobody would be spending money. Nobody would be going to get anyone. That's one of the reasons why they didn't want that. So the DH is needed because let's talk some situations here. Could you imagine being a Mets fan and Jacob deGrom is 7 innings. He's had 78 pitches, 2 hits, 1 walk, no runs, 10 strikeouts, and he's up to bat with 1 out, bases loaded, and you have to decide right there, nothing ball game. Are you going for the offense, or are you going to let Jacob deGrom finish out this game in which he hasn't been touched? Why do you have to make that decision? That's so dumb. What happens if Jacob deGrom comes out, runners on second and third in the 3rd inning with 2 outs? You just don't score any runs. You just make him sit there and take 3 pitches right down the middle. Because it's Jacob deGrom. He's a pitcher. Before the big leagues, he probably hasn't picked up a bat since he was 14. Probably hasn't run the bases since he was 14 years old. This stuff is ridiculous. Let me ask you a question. Who do you want to see up in that situation? Do you want to see Jacob deGrom up, or do you want to see David Ortiz? I personally want to watch David Ortiz hit 40 home runs. I'm also a Red Sox fan. I'm an American League Baseball fan, through and through. That shades me a little. But as a National League fan, it makes more sense to me that you would be in favor of the DH than not in favor. Because how many times can you watch your players, your pitchers get hurt on the base paths or swinging a bat because you're forcing them to do something they haven't done since they're 14? How many pitchers have been lost for a season because they tore an ACL or an Achilles, or they messed with their shoulder sliding back into a base because they're doing something they aren't supposed to do? It's ridiculous. I hate it so much. Please, if you have an argument for the DH, drop it below. We can have an intelligent debate about this. Probably won't change my side, because I, like most fans, want to see some offense. And guess what? I appreciate a 1-0 pitcher's duel more than anyone on the planet. But you know what I don't appreciate is when it comes with being able to face an automatic out in the lineup 3 times through. It's true. It's true. You know what would be more entertaining? Jacob deGrom striking out David Ortiz is more entertaining than Jacob deGrom striking out Clayton Kershaw. You make the argument, well, what about the Bartolo Colon home run? That was epic. That was so cool. Yeah, the one time in 5 years that we've been excited about a pitcher hitting. We're going to let everyone bat under 100 so we can see one cool moment every 5 years? No, you're not going to do that. It's silly. It's a silly argument. It's an anomaly. It's an anomaly. I can't say that word. I don't know why. It's bad. It's an outlier is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? It's a statistical outlier. It's just, I don't see any arguments that it can be made that would make you want to get it. And I get it. You can say, oh, but there's more strategy, the strategy behind it. Guess what? Someone being forced to make a dumb decision out of 2 choices isn't strategy. On what planet are you from in which saying, hey, do you want your really good pitcher to keep pitching, or do you want him to not have to hit? What? Wow, how do those 2 go together? Do I want my awesome pitcher to keep pitching, or do I want someone to hit and score runs? Those shouldn't go together. That doesn't make any sense. And I know some people are saying, oh, so we should just make it offense and defense like in football. Oh, that's what you want, 9 DHs. No, nobody said that. You still need to be a ball player. Position players need to be ball players. They need to learn how to hit. They need to play defense. Pitchers are different. They're different. Believe it or not, pitchers and position players are very different people. They don't hang out together in the clubhouse because they're different. Their jobs are different. Their lives are different. The way that they train is different. Pitchers aren't training to explode from a base and explode from a set position and run. You know what I mean? Position players are. They're not positioned to hit the ball and do all this other stuff. And if you haven't picked up a bat since you were 14, not even in the minors, because you don't hit in minor league ball, not even national teams. Did you know that? Bet you didn't. College, you have a DH. High school, you have a DH. But you didn't know that, did you? But so there's a legit chance that somebody like Clayton Kershaw, before he got to the majors, did not pick up a bat since he was 12 years old. There's a legit chance that somebody like David Price did not pick up a bat from the time he was 12 until this season whenever he plays with the Dodgers. Except for the few times he pitched in National League parks. It's different, whatever, but the last time he had to focus and learn how and remember how to hit could have been when he was 12 years old, because he didn't hit. You don't hit in high school if you're an ace pitcher that's going to Vanderbilt. And once you get to Vanderbilt, you don't hit. They have people that do that for you. You focus on pitching. Throw your 97 with movement. Go get their guys out. We'll take care of the rest. That's the pitcher's job. Also, could you imagine the first time you pick up a bat since you're 12, you're like, kind of doing the bat swirls, trying to get your back loose. All of a sudden, Garrett Cole's on the other side of the face, staring you down. Like, could you imagine that? That'd be terrible. That'd be awful. I don't want that. I don't want that. But that's what happens. So, I don't know. Leave your comment below. I mean, it's honestly frustrating. I think regardless of what happens with this, we need one set of rules. Like, could you imagine if, say in the NBA, could you imagine if in the NBA they'd be like, hey, Western Conference, play normal. Eastern Conference, no dunks. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, Western Conference, we just threw in a 4-point line. Eastern Conference, you can only make shots worth 2 points. Or Eastern Conference, you can't play anybody within the arc. Like, that would be so crazy, right? Like, we're playing on 2 completely different sets of rules here. Hey, let's do NFL. Hey, NFC, you could play normal. AFC, you have to run the ball every 3rd play. No matter what. Like, it's crazy. It's so funny to think about. Like, it's crazy to think that, like, it's serious, though. Like, could you imagine, in football, like, this is a better argument, honestly. Could you imagine in football if they're like, hey, AFC, Patrick Mahomes, you only have to play quarterback. NFC, Aaron Rodgers, you better go out there and play some defense. You better go out there and play some linebacker. We need you out there. What about Patrick Mahomes? No, he's good. He's in AFC. He can just play quarterback. He can play quarterback only. Like, it's crazy to think about. But that's pretty much going to do it for today. These have been getting long lately. Y'all like the long videos? Let me know. I mean, if y'all make it this far, who knows? Anyways, I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great night. And please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, want more content like this. Let's build a community. That's what I'm going to start preaching every video, every blog, every podcast, everything. Every Twitch. Let's build a community together where my goal for Couch Fanatics is if a group of friends were sitting on the couch talking about sports together. That's my goal for this. Anyways, everybody have a great night. Peace.